Hey guys, how are you? I am happy to be here. I'm gonna wait just a few seconds and see if anybody pops on. I think I'm a couple minutes early. Somebody's here. Thanks for joining. We'll see if I can see who it is. Sometimes, all right. Hi, Ariel. Thanks for joining. Anybody else that is on? Oh, good. Lots of people coming on. Hi, Nicole. Thanks for being here. My name is Bonnie Devonish. And hi, Irene. If you guys want to pop on and just tell me where you're coming from, because I'm not sure if you're all from the West Coast or hey, Juan. I'm so happy I'm not going to be talking to myself. Yay! Hi, Kelly. All right, so I'm going to get started so that the people that are watching the replay don't have to wait so long for me. But first, I'll just introduce myself. I'm so excited that Rihanna had me in. All these people, I'm so happy. Irene, Nicole, thanks for coming, guys. So my name is Bonnie Devonish, and I am the Superstar Director for Team Wickless Flava. And I know that sounds crazy, Wickless Flava, really. But I'm from Virginia, VA. So that's the end of Flava. And I live in Florida and have for 15 years. So I put them together, and that was Flava and, flavors, aromas, so that's how it became Wickless Flava. So just a little bit about my team name. But I moved to Florida back in 2005, and I've been living here on the southwest coast of Florida on the Gulf for that long time. And I've been in Cincy for 13 and a half years. I can't even believe it. But I was a nurse. I am a nurse, but I was working as a pediatric nurse back in 2008, and I was invited to a home party. What are those, right? I don't even remember the last time. Oh, yes, I do. I had one in May. But I was invited to a home party. I had never heard of Cincy, and I was a candle fanatic. And the night before I went to my first home party that I was ever invited to, I almost burnt my house down with a candle. And I didn't, thankfully. I woke up with a start at like 4 a.m. and realized that there was a pillar candle burning on my mantle. And I ran in there and I got it just in time. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I can't go to this party. It's a candle party. I can't go. I'm never using candles again. But I had promised the hostess that I would be there. She was my friend. So I show up and I see all these little lip gloss pots, I thought they were. And I start looking around. I'm like, what is this? And she goes, oh, those are the testers. Feel free to smell. I'm like, well, I don't know that I'm going to buy anything. And I said, well, where are the candles? And she said, there are no candles. It's wickless, and there's no flame, and there's no soot, no smoke. And I'm like, what? Changed my entire life. And that is the beginning of my love for Cincy. And it just took off from there. So that's my little story of why I joined Cincy, because I had to have these wickless, flameless candles in my house because I wasn't ever burning a candle anymore, right? So the passion was strong at that point. And I did not get into it at all for a team or to be a leader or, hi, Kelly. I didn't even know, I knew what direct sales were. And I had been asked a bunch of times by different consultants to join their team in different direct sales companies, but I had never even thought of it because I am not a salesperson. I'm a nurse. And so, you know how it goes. You're in Cincy and you are sharing what you love, because that's what we do, right? Share, not sell. Hi, Yvette. And people start coming to my website and joining my team, and I'm like, wait a second, I don't know what to do with this. I didn't get into this for a team, and I didn't have a supportive sponsor at all. I didn't have a supportive upline near me. I didn't know anything and anybody in the business. I do have notes. I'm so sorry because I will lose my track if I don't. I'm sorry. But all of a sudden I start getting these team members and I'm like, this is fun. Like hanging out with other people. I didn't think of myself then as a leader. I thought of myself as a team member. You know, we were just sort of hanging out together, figuring out this thing called Scentsy, because 13 and a half years ago, there was nothing. I mean, Facebook had just started, but there weren't any like groups to support us, and home office was amazing, but there was no training really except for your consultant guide. So I had to figure it out sort of on my own, and I learned then that I was sort of a self-starter, I guess, but more of like, I'm going to figure it out because I don't want this to fail, because my husband at the time would have been like, see, I told you. But I just wanted it to be something that I had. So I made it work. And then I made it work more because then I started seeing what it was doing for those few team members that were joining me. And I was like, well, I need to learn how to be a leader. And so I started thinking about what that meant for me. And I decided, I think I need to reach out to somebody and figure this out. So I reached out to my upline, who is Lindsay Bates, the amazing Lindsay Bates. And she's now my director and superstar director, all of that. And I reached out to her and she's in Texas. So I started going into her calls, and I was hearing all of this stuff about what could happen if you grew a team, and all these trips that you could earn with the points that you could get if you had a team. I'm like, okay, well, I have a team, so now I have to figure out what that means and what I should be doing for them, right? So I figured it out sort of by accident because I was doing what they needed. It was sort of common sense to me. I was like, okay, well, if I want them, or if I need them, that's what I was thinking then, need them to sell this much every month so that they're active for me. I was still thinking selfishly, for me to be promoting to the next level, I need them to do this, this, and this. So I'm thinking, okay, well then I'll just show them what I'm doing because I'm pretty successful with my stuff. And therein lies the leading from the front. I didn't know what that was at that point. But tonight, I want you to think about what leadership really means to you. And like, if we think of the word leader, it just means a person who is usually up front, right? And leading the way or doing something that they're teaching you or showing you that they want you to do, right? So for our Scentsy businesses, I feel like this is twofold, the leading the way from the front. So the first part is your Scentsy business and your personal business. You want to lead so people will follow you. But then there's also this really important part that I'm going to talk about in a minute called culture. And that has to do with your attitude as the leader. So first, think about what you do in a month. I would never go out and say to my team, okay, I need you to sell $500 in a month. And I need like all 10 of you on my team to sell $500 in a month so that we can make XYZ numbers so that I can promote to this level or I can be paid a title. And I need you to have 2 frontline active or 3 frontline active or however many it is for their different level. And I need you to book 4 parties, and I need you to have 1 or 2 new recruits every month. Okay, go do that. Would you ever say that to somebody if you weren't thinking and absolutely doing that for yourself and for your own business? No, because if you said that and you weren't doing that, they would call BS right away to your face and go, why would I be doing that if you're not? So that is sort of in a nutshell what leading from the front is. But that isn't even my mindset, my culture. That's not how I'm wired anyway. So it was easy back then when I didn't know what leadership was to sort of do that and think, okay, well, whatever I'm telling them to do, I can't do as I do, not as I say, right? I mean, it's backwards. Do as I say, not as I do. But you want them to do as you say, so you have to do what you do, right? I know that's confusing, but stay with me. All right, so also, it doesn't mean that I don't want them to outperform me. So say I'm saying I am going to set my goal at 2,000 or 2,500 every single month so that I can earn annual sales award, right? That doesn't mean that I don't want them, meaning my team, to outperform me. I am cheering for them to do that all the time. It used to be that I was always top sales in my team. Now I am so happy that I'm not. And that doesn't mean I've slacked off. It means that my team has stepped up and they've seen what I've done and they've emulated it and followed, and now they're outdoing me, which is amazing. So question, do any of you as leaders, I know you guys are lead and up, right? So if you have at least one person on your team, then you are a leader. And I know that in the past I've thought, okay, if I had just 3 people who could do what I do or better, then I could promote to blankety blank, or I could achieve this next promotion, or I could achieve these benchmarks I've set for myself. And you're looking around going, okay, this person isn't even active. There's all these people that have zeros. This person is a lead, but she's never been paid at lead because she doesn't sell 500 or more herself in a month. And you're wondering, okay, if I could just have that, then, life would be good. Well, what do people need to get motivated to do that, right? I don't have a stand. I'm using my laptop to hold up my papers. I should have used note cards. Sorry. So for myself, when I was thinking that, I had to check myself. I was like, okay, so what do they need to really get motivated? Some people are like me. They're self-motivated. They're really driven. They want to excel at everything that they do. And it's easy for them. They just do it. They read the book, they watch the video, they do it, right? But there's a lot of people out there that need to see it, to actually see that it works first and then see how to do it. So those are the people I'm talking about, really. So let's think about what a month looks like for you. Like typically, how do you sort of schedule out your Scentsy business in a month? For me, I know that end goal is always at least 2,500. And now it's more because of those incentive points that I want to earn. And so I have my eyes on the prize. It's fall. I can do bigger things. So 2,500, let's just say that's my minimum. So that first week of every month, my eyes are on that last day of the month. I better have my 500 in, okay? Because I want that, my 500 minimum. As a leader, I need 500 minimum in the month. But as a leader who wants to show what you're doing for your frontline and your team, you need to have it in early. You need to teach them that front loading your business at the beginning is all about what it's about. Because if you front load your business in the beginning, then all the rest is fluff or cherry on top or whatever you want to call it. So I have 500 by the end of the first week, then 500 every week after. That's my goal. And this means that I have to prep the month before, sorry. I have to book those parties. I have to front load my calendar. I have to get out my mail, my customer mail on time. I have to do those follow-ups. All the things that lead to that 500, 500, 500, 500 to give me the 2,500 by the end of the month. So How do I get them to follow? It's really easy. It's as simple as me sharing what I'm doing. So if I'm doing those things that I want them to emulate or follow me, then I just flip my camera around and I share what I'm doing. So transparency is a word that's super important if you're a leader. And sometimes leaders think that transparency is scary. But I feel like if you're a leader and you don't believe in being fully transparent with your team, then maybe you need to check how or what you're doing in your business. Because everything that you're doing should be see-through so that they can just see it and repeat it. So I'm glad y'all are still watching. Yay, thanks. So what I want them to do is I want them to build these habits that I've built throughout the year with my business, and I want them to repeat it. So if I'm gonna do a customer mailer at the last week of the month before the new warmer comes out, then I'm going to go live while I'm doing those customer mailers, and I'm going to show them, okay, I'm making these samples. This is how I'm doing my labels. I show them step by step. This is what I use. Avery is what I use. These are the labels I use. I put them in the text. I write it down. And it's not that I'm doing extra work, because basically it's me turning around the camera and saying, okay, walk through this with me. And when you're doing it, maybe that's when you turn on your camera and you do it with me. I also encourage people to join me in Power Hour every week so they can see how I use an hour of my time every single day. We do it once a week. If they only see, so if my team only saw me as the director or the superstar director, shouting people out, sending team mail, posting recognition, serving them, basically, they would think that was my entire job. They would think that I didn't have to do anything with a personal business, right? So they need to be seeing what I'm doing so that they can copy. We need to share systems and tools. Like I said, I tell them this is what I do, this is what I use, this is my planner, this is how I plan out my month. So let's think about those habits that you might want duplicated. So I have them listed here, the ones that I'm thinking of. I want them to front load their calendar. So I want them to book parties. So I always have a booking blitz. And we've actually now become a booking sponsoring blitz. And so we focus half the time on booking parties and half the time on recruiting. And so we do that on the last week of every month so that we can book for the month ahead. So partying the first week of the month, that's the way you get your PRV in that first week. Having 500 PRV in by the 15th for leaders. All leaders having 1 to 2 new teamies every month. Welcoming new team members, cheering people on through a promotion, recognizing behaviors that you want repeated out of your teammates, not just recognizing promotions and PRV. Because just because somebody maybe doesn't have that 500 PRV that you're going to shout out when they reach it, doesn't mean they're not working their biz. So if I see somebody post on social media something really cool, like a way that they're using counter clean in their kitchen, real life stuff that's going to really touch somebody, not touch, you know what I mean. People are going to be drawn to it. So if I see that, then I take a screenshot of it and I will share it on my group page and say, I caught blankety blank sharing real life stuff here. She rocked. How many orders did you get from that one? Or something like that. Also, so that's where the second piece of leading by example and leading from the front comes in. That second part is the culture. So way back when I only had 5 people on my team that first year, I was creating my team culture even then, because I was encouraging each of them to share what they were doing in their business with us. I was encouraging them by welcoming other people to their teams. I was encouraging them and building our culture by creating a team page on Facebook when I didn't really even know what Facebook, how it worked. I created a team page back when I was a star consultant, just because I felt like I needed some place to chat with them. And by building that group, we found a culture that people didn't want to leave. And the way that you build that culture is by leading with that positive attitude. And a huge thing for my group is they know, without me having to even write rules per se in our Facebook group, that negativity has no place there, just by the way everyone lives and posts. There's no written standard. There is one, but it's not like in their face. But here's the thing. If you want an action repeated, keep doing and showing that action. But if you are doing something, I'm not saying you, but if I am doing something that I do not want repeated, then I need to stop doing it, right? I don't want, just like myself as a parent, if I don't want my 6-year-old saying those curse words, I need to stop saying the curse words. So I just encourage you to sort of, if you find that when you're building your team and you're going off and doing your own group in Facebook or other places where you're gelling as a group, and you find that there's a lot of negativity there, look in the mirror first. Because when you have something that is negative and you're giving it off on the public front, even if it's not in your teen group, if it's on your profile or somewhere else on social media where it's public so everybody can see you, that's what's speaking louder than your words. So people are going to call BS on you if they see you in your team page going, rah, rah, and being the cheerleader and positive, and then you're over here on Instagram belittling somebody, right? So I'm not speaking to anybody. Actually, I'm just saying that's what I had to learn, was that people are drawn and stay with the culture that is like them. So if they come to my group and they are a member of our family, as we call it, and they feel like they're out of place, then 9 times out of 10, they will check themselves because they want to stay, and they'll change the way they're acting. Now, we've lost people because they didn't belong. They didn't feel like they belonged, but those aren't the people I want in my group anyway. I want positivity. I want a culture where we are supporting each other and where we are cheering each other on and where we are motivating each other. And there's one thing that I've started doing about a year ago that I'll leave you with in case you want to start it. It's called a share post. And it's just our group is a group of teams. So my page is called Flava Collective. And that is my team and all of my directors' teams all in this group together. And it's a big group of people. It is a wealth of information, knowledge, and experience. There are a wide range of ages, backgrounds, and we want a culture of sharing. So we created this place called Share Post. And so each week we have a share post, and everyone is encouraged to drop something they're doing that week that is working for them in their business. And we will have, anywhere from, some weeks it's small, 10 people will share. Some weeks it's like 50 will share. And to get it started, I always do a wheel of names. It's the wheelofnames.com. It's really cool. It's just, you spin the wheel, you put as many names in it as you want. But every time somebody shares, I add their name to the wheel of names. And then every Sunday night, I spin the wheel and one person wins something. It could be a scent circle. It could be a business tool. It could be a $5 gift card to Starbucks. It could be anything, but it's not expensive. It's just something to encourage them to share. And because we do that, we constantly are lifting each other up, because we rise by lifting others, right? And we learned that In fact, that's what I have on my shirt. We rise by lifting others, and we rise by cheering others on. And we want to be those people who cheer others on. And I know you guys are probably just like that. So when you are building your community, you want to lead from the front, not just with the actions that you share with them in your business, but with the attitude and the culture you bring to your group. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope that I spoke some truth into you guys and that it resonated with you somewhat. I don't know if you have any questions. I'm sure you probably don't. It was pretty straightforward, but I hope that you will sort of put some of that stuff into practice and think about it when you decide whether or not you're gonna push that leader button in your life and in your business. And I know that there are so many great leaders in here, and I can't wait to see what happens in your business. Thanks for letting me share. Take care, guys. Bye.